Hello guys, it's me Mysteren with another ranking video since my last one blew up insanely well. Like, it's really my most popular video right now. And I made a community post asking you guys what season you wanted ranked next, and you guys picked Tpot, and I love Tpot, so let's start this ranking. You know, I actually used to think this was one of the best episodes, but upon further analysis, it's probably the least strongest out of the 12. So first off, most of the storylines were just pretty mid. The only good storylines being the strongest team on Earth and yes, and I guess Are You Okay? The rest is pretty forgettable, but I do like the judging portion of the episode since they added double eliminations, and I really liked everything that the strongest team on Earth does again. But besides that, it's just another okay episode. But to be honest, every episode on Teapot is actually amazing. Okay, I probably should have put this lower, but we have Teapot 5. I think it's actually the worst episode. I think it's worse than Tpot 3, but to be honest, they might just be on the same level. But that's okay. So it's just another okay episode. I do like the strongest team on Earth parts. Again, you can't really screw up their storyline, and also I really like Are You Okay? One of the best teams ever, and everything else I just didn't really care for. It was just those two teams are really cool, and the rest I really just didn't care about. But luckily, the two teams I did like were in it a lot. But yeah, just besides that, there wasn't much for me to enjoy. So it's probably just like a 5 out of 10. But it is actually pretty enjoyable to watch, even though I don't like some of the teams. Like Just Not, I don't like that team that much. Since Pillow is just the main character, and I don't even like Pillow. So yeah, this is just a ranting video now. Let's just go on to the next episode. Okay, now I know a lot of people like this episode, but for me, it's just an okay episode. That BFDI 13 did better. But besides that, it isn't even a bad episode. I mean, it doesn't really have much of a low point, but it doesn't have much high points for me at least. But the things I did like about the episode were the locations, since the exit's one of the coolest looking places in the entirety of the show. And also I like 4, even though he was wimpy this episode. He literally could have beaten all of them, no problem. And also the scene where the boat crashes into him was funny since he just becomes deflated and he just looks pretty dead. So, yeah, but besides that, just another average episode. Oh, yeah, and also the intro was really cool. Definitely a highlight. Okay, now I don't know if this is controversial or not, but it probably is. So first off, if there were categories, this would be entering like the great episodes since the writing for this episode is actually really good, I must say, because it's actually pretty long, 30 minutes, which I mean isn't that long by Teapot standards, but you know. And I do like Deathpack's story in the episode with Puffball screwing over everything because her plan was very smart. I would not be able to come up with that. And Teammates was boring. Contrast with a great story and just a boring story because Teammates never even does anything. And the S was in space, which was one of my favorite locations to BFDI, but only got 2 short scenes. And they focused a lot on Just Not, which I didn't like that much because I don't like Just Not. And also, the story they had in this episode wasn't that good. So that's one thing I didn't really like about it. But I love Nickel, so that's the only reason I even like that team. But seeing the locations was enjoyable. But the problem is I wish that they made the episode longer so we could see the episodes for longer periods of time. Like the strongest teams on Earth, Snow Tundra. I wish you could have seen some more of that, more story with it. Because I don't know if we're going to see these locations again. I hope we do, maybe like for the finale. But if they made this like 10 minutes longer, that would have been pretty cool. But even with the short runtime for like the grand thing, I think it's still a good episode. Okay, this actually used to be my worst episode pick, but upon rewatching it, this episode's actually pretty great. And even just the story was pretty good, and every contestant felt like they just got enough screen time, like a perfect amount, and that was actually pretty nice, which the episode prior did not have. And I loved Are You Okay? Because they got shrunk, and then golf ball learns to appreciate Puffball. And we could see the hotel a bit for the strongest team on Earth, which I love that location. I love the hotel. It reminds me of Hotel OJ from Inanimate Insanity. And yeah, that's it's just those two teams were really cool. Some of the other teams were pretty okay. But that's about it. Oh, and Fornex's arrival after being gone for like, I don't know if it was 2 years or just 1 year since this episode released. But it was nice seeing them again and talking about them. I just like the end credit scene. Okay, now, I know this is going to get half the comment section hating on me, but just hear me out. So, first off, I do recognize that this episode does start a bunch of arcs, and I do like them. I like the Death Pack storyline, where Fanny tries to kill people because he thinks it's right, and I do like that. And also, it creates the Robot Flower and basketball arc, where Robot Flower wants to be more like, you know, Flower, and that's okay to me. I like seeing Robot Flower murdering a bunch of people. And also, I like how we got to see more of the elimination. I like the elimination because we get to see the Winter and Clock storyline. It would have come to a close, but it actually didn't, and I'm glad it didn't. But the elimination was good because of Lightning and Clock. Lightning really sold it. I really liked it. And it's surprising because Tpot doesn't really do eliminations that well, in my eyes, but I think they did it really well this episode. And I liked Yellowface's team where they were trying to fix the moon, but they turn everything into Yellowface reality, and I liked seeing the team in that kind of design because it looks terrible. And also the other stories were cool with the dead body trading. Teammates didn't do anything, again. Surprising. Oh, I also liked the strongest team on Earth because you could see the Tpot Exeter guys trying to break out, and I thought that was funny. But to be fair, all the other storylines were just not that good to me, like just everything else, and I think that's what brings it down. But what it did have that I liked was actually pretty good, and that's just my opinion on the episode. Not a bad one. Also, I really like the end credits scene.
Hey, Buck! Don't you think I look beautiful? Well... Too long! Bye, Buck. I'm not sad to see you go.
I'll bring you back, Robot Flower. I'll bring you back. All right, Clock, try your luck. Thank you. Didn't work out, huh? No. Give it a go on another day. Thanks, too. Huh.
Okay, now you'll almost be wondering why I put Tpot 8 above Tpot 7, and that's for a simple reason. Though everything was short, everything was actually enjoyable to see. Like, I don't know what to really say here since all the stories just were kind of all over the place, in a good way, and there's a lot of action, and the scene where Pin is flying, we see Fiery and Leafy's island is really fun to see. I literally gasped when I first saw it because I thought they were just gone forever. So that was pretty cool. The bad thing is obviously the length, and that's really it. I wish it was longer, but even without that, it's still a pretty good episode. Just not much to say about it. Okay, now time for a huge rant, but also a huge whatever the antonym is. This has got to be one of the most mixed episodes in the entire Tpot history, easily. Since on one hand I like it, and on the other one I don't like it. So let me explain. So first off, the animation's really nice to look at. I liked it, and all the chaos in the episode made it very intriguing. Like the very start of the episode was full to the brim with action, with just murder and a bunch of stuff. And also, we get to see a bunch of callback locations with Death Pact again, where they're trying to find stuff for the pit. And that was fun to see, since we saw the Pillory Ruins and a bunch of stuff from that era. The one scenes are cool, because they're probably leading up to something good. And I really hope it actually is good, because, you know, a new villain would... There isn't much, like, BFDI villains, so this could be the first one. So I'm excited for that. But the thing that bugged me the whole episode is just the way the characters were acting. What I'm talking about is how basketball got bullied for the entire time while they were just trying to help.
There.
What the... Oh, fine! Let's hear the story from her then!
Danger, danger. I am being kidnapped.
Stop! Our team must stick together and stay here near our pit.
This is the worst thing ever! I saw her!
Time for you to go bye-bye.
Ah!
great.
Guys, I saw Bummy and Dell.
Denied. After what you did with the other mechanical mine, I'm too scared to be around you.
That's fair, but guys, I saw one. And
TV always sees ones and zeros. Yay!
that's not what I.
So that was just annoying. And talking about that, a lot of characters just became really bland. And even just bad this episode. They're also just pretty mean-spirited. Like some characters were actually good, like Pony Face along with Snowball, as always, and practically everyone on Team 2, Needle, Pen, Bottle, Basketball, and I guess some of Death Pact yet again. But besides them, either the characters got worse or just I just flat out hated them. Now, even if I made it sound like this episode's worse, I still really see this as one of the most entertaining episodes. There's so much to enjoy. Like, I like the challenge. Even though I don't like Pillow, she did say a pretty cool one-liner this episode.
You need to give it back.
Shut up.
But it's just the bad that holds it back. But I was definitely not disappointed. Now for the final four. This is actually incredibly hard to pick because Tpot 1 and 2, since to me, they're both pretty great. But which one's better? Well, I actually think Tpot 1 beats out Tpot 2. But only by a little bit. Since I really do like Tpot 2, since Gady and 2's friendship begins, I like the friendship. And just seeing all the teams interact since they didn't get much to do it in the episode prior. And talking about that, just more happened, like Teardrop's entering and Teardrop's shootout with Death Pact again being the highlight of the episode. And also I love how Iggy caused a butterfly effect, which ended up with her team being up for elimination. And I love when the episodes do that. The only thing I don't like about this episode is how parts are pretty uninteresting to me, except those parts aren't even that bad. But it is expected as this episode takes a year to make, so it makes sense that I like some parts of it. So yeah, pretty cool episode. I can't emphasize how much I love the strongest team on Earth. The final freaking 3. Great. Now, I think I can put down Tpot 1 as a prime example of a great season premiere. Even if I enjoyed BFB 1 better, I'd say this is only a little worse, but still really enjoyable to watch, like they always are. I love the hotel guests joining, or their eliminations, I don't really know how to call it, since it's an elimination on the first episode, which does not commonly happen in viewer voting, so that was a treat. Also, once again, like BFB1, the team picking is insanely interesting to watch people form alliances, which they would bond with immediately or even down the line. Great build-up happened during the segment, and it's probably the highlight of the episode. Then the ground changes. I guess it's better since it separates the background from the BFB pre-split, but I don't like yellow grass since it reminds me of Stockton, California. Yeah, the rest of the episode's great, but there are some questionable parts, like teammates just climbing a wall in like 2 minutes, then solidifying them as the most anticlimactic team on Tpot. Yay! And also my favorite teams were Death Pact and the strongest team on Earth, since they let us see more of the hotel, and also I just like the build-up of them going neck and neck trying to get to the very top of the hotel. I love that story. But the other stories were just okay, pretty short. They were definitely not the focus of the episode. But what they should have done is made it longer, like BFB1. But besides that, pretty cool episode. And it also holds my favorite Exeter scene, I guess, whatever you call it.
Ow.
Get up, Stapy. It's time for Plan B. Every second counts, so let's hurry.
Right. Huh.
What are you two doing?
I didn't even get to take a peek before 4 caught me and boarded it up. I won't hesitate this time.
Before we get into the penultimate episode, let's guess. Do you think I'll pick Tpot 9 or 10 as the best episode? Lock in your answers. If you guess Tpot 10 is second place, you are correct. Tpot 10, what a great episode. First off, it concluded the Winter and Clock arc, along with the Death Pact murder arc, which is obviously the highlight of the episode, along with Book's rise to actually being relevant again. And I'll be frank, I don't really care for Taggy and Book's friendship, but it's nice to see it anyway, because Book hasn't had a friend for the first time in like 4 years or something. I don't know, a long time. Let's not get carried away. I want to keep this in order, so let's just start with the elimination. Since Teardrop was killed last episode, was just the only one that was up for elimination, which caused them to be one of the biggest viewer voting ever, and also caused my favorite on the team, Nico, to be eliminated. But I like how he went out hating on my most hated character, so I could agree with him, telling Pillow to get the heck out of here. And I don't even like Pillow that much, so yeah. Anyways, after that, it leads to each team's stories of the nightmares. And I like how they wasted no time going right into Deathpack's grand story of Black Hole becoming a deranged killer and literally sucking up 2 as his first victim, and Scary Fanny entry so that they try to escape, which creates a better chase scene than BFDIA 1, which was nice to see. I also find it really funny. I find this line pretty funny.
We're gonna run out of my brothers and sisters to drive on eventually.
Let's make a run for it! Go, go, go!
Then the ending of them going to space and Tree getting a cold death, leaving Fanny and Black Hole alone in the white void to set aside their differences. Which ends with both of them coming to a mutual agreement. And they concluded an already great storyline in an even better way than I could have imagined. Bravo, Jack and Jellyfy. Another thing I love about the episode is winner and loser and Clock storyline. So I'll admit, I kind of liked the beef after Clock's elimination, so that was nice to see concluded in a nice civil way. But the thing I really liked was the story of Winner just wanting to be happy and the thing I really liked was the story of Winner wanting a happy, normal life while Loser wanted to be the top guy, leaving Winner behind for fame. And that's an amazing story to me. I love the little segment they had about that. There are 2 other teams being just not story, them being back in the BFB style, which is pretty funny to see. And the strongest teams on Earth, where, just like in Tpot 5, they're in a giant machine that eventually just blows up in the end. And I like their story, but it isn't the best. Teammates has the worst story since it's just barf bag thing, and I don't really care about that. Also, I liked how many videos were just counting all the times one showed up on screen. And that's the episode. Mostly good. That's all you really need to be great in my eyes. But there is one episode that beats out all these episodes to me. Now, the number 1 spot goes to Tpot 9. Easily. Now, before I get onto the good, I just want to start off with the bad, so we only have good to talk about later. So, basically, there's only one thing I really dislike about the episode, and it's just the things I wish they did. Except one thing I don't like that they actually did do was the way Snowball, he was literally, the strongest thing, one of the strongest contestants ever, if not the strongest, and he was zombie-proof, so he could have been, a top-notch survival in the zombie apocalypse. He could have actually been pretty useful, but they just murdered him by ripping him in half when 4 couldn't even kill him with his lasers. So it was just wasted potential. Snowball could have been so much more this episode, but even as his weird zombified body, he was okay. But they could have done so much more with that. But the things that they didn't do that I wish they did was actually letting us hear what Coiny would have had to say after Pin's monologue to him, since he just died right after she said it, and it would have been cool to see what he would have had to say. But it isn't that bad because we wouldn't need it after BFP 6 and just everything after that. And also, just like BFB 13 and 14, this could have been a kind of double episode where the apocalypse spans from one episode to the second. And I think that's how they should have gone the way, because it's more dangerous than the lava apocalypse. And it's also just more entertaining since I like zombies. So I think they could have extended it longer. I would have liked to see it extended it longer. Like them just fighting until sunrise with only a few people making out alive. And also it would have made the story better. But you can't have everything. And also what we got was already great enough. And let's talk about that. So first off, I love the contest because it could kill everybody, like I said before, being more dangerous than the lava apocalypse, which is surprising since it's a lava apocalypse, so pretty cool. Okay, something I loved was seeing all the contestants slowly being murdered one by one. Even though they die pretty quickly so they wouldn't feel much pain, that scene where the Exeter's on the roof and just being stuck and just eaten was pretty disturbing, unsettling. but nothing's disturbing to me anymore. Anyway, I like how it's set at night, which makes it more creepy, even though it isn't that creepy, but it's way better than being set at morning, since I actually like the nightfall. You can actually see the stars. But let's talk about the teams. So, anyway, let's talk about the eliminations this episode. So, actually, 3 people got eliminated, which is the first time it's ever happened ever. So, first, Corny, I won't talk about him. Then Puffball, I think TV should have gotten out over her, but, you know, sometimes bad things needed to happen. Who knows? Maybe TV will be better. But the thing I want to talk about most is Teardrop's elimination, since though I really like Teardrop this season, just like the final scene said with Eraser, she didn't need a win. She's already like one of the strongest ones now that Snowball's another Snowball now. Like, she literally has special powers. And also just the final scene with her and Erasers with their whole season long beef was just amazing. I think it's my favorite elimination of Tpot. Not the whole show, but definitely of Tpot. They handled it really well, and I really liked it. And also, I liked Just Not story, which is pretty rare. But I do like how Pillow, though it would have been like interesting to see her trying to protect her team from the zombies, it's still fine just to see her murdering all her friends from the zombies, because she's very creepy. And I think that's how they should have used her this season. Instead of just mindlessly killing, it should have been disturbingly mindlessly killing, because I think that would have made it better. I also loved golf ball and tennis ball story. Not the entirety of Are You Okay, but just those two. I like their duo and how they made the thing to prevent it all. And they also got to see where 2 sends eliminated contestants, which that place looked a little bit weird. Hopefully we can see it more. And also, I like the scene where Gady got kidnapped by 2. Like, that scene is my favorite. Is my favorite scene of old Tpot. Definitely my favorite scene in this episode, but that scene is so good. Look at it.
2? Over here. 2? Are you okay? In here. Come on. 2. I'm a little freaked out. Inside. 2. I know you're not you right now, but come on. 2. You there? 2? Is that... Are you okay? 2, are you okay? Wait, 2, don't!
Just bravo, Jack. It's just a masterpiece. And it's insane how I loved how they spread out everybody. Like, no one was in just one location. Everybody was spread out. Like, a lot of people were at the hotel, which I liked, and some people were at the steakhouse, like Just Not, and the other teams were just like out in the open. Oh, and also Death Pact. I really like their story of like a tower defense, of just trying to protect Tree from getting absolutely murdered, even though I feel like it'd be weird for just one zombie to infect something that's like so much bigger than them. I think he could have survived a few bites, but maybe he would have died. But I like seeing it's isolated because it makes it a little bit more suspenseful, since nobody's really there to protect each other except for the team. Teammates is probably the worst, but the extras aren't that bad. Pin definitely carries, along with Gady. And yes, another one that was out in the open. They also kind of made the apocalypse end, but it was mostly TB and GB. But you know, they were a fun addition to see. And also poor Icy, they got literally murdered. And also in the end credit scene, we get to see the Exeters, so that was pretty entertaining, even if I still think Tpot 1 did it really well. But that's just my thought for the episode. That's just my outlook. What a great episode, and also what a great season. So yeah, after rewatching Tpot, I can successfully say it's better than BFEIA, like I said before. In my eyes, I'm gonna kill whoever made Google Docs. I'm actually not joking. So yeah, after rewatching Tpot, I can successfully say it's better than BFDIA in my eyes. And there's not even any bad points. There's just mostly really good points, and the bad is just the okay. There's no like things I actually like disliked, except some characters. And this was the only season where I actually struggled to which episode to put last. Like I actually had to really think about it, since no episodes are really bad. It's just which episode was the least strongest, which I don't think any season's kind of like that. So Tpot is really great in consistency. I really liked it. And even though, like I said, I don't like some characters or some plots, who really cares, since Tpot is still a great show, and I have a lot of unpopular opinions, and the fact that they could even satisfy some of my needs in these episodes is good enough for me. So for anyone who made it this far, I hope you have a great weekend, September, and a year, and goodbye. I made this video before Tpot 13 was confirmed to be released next week, so I'll probably be doing a reaction review on that. But until then, have a great September, year, or just day, and goodbye.